Well, we got a little bit of rain over the weekend, and so we've got a couple inches of water in our pond. Don't mind water in the pond, just rather do it after the liner's in. So I'm getting the water out. Alberto's loading up or unloading stone from the trailers, and we're gonna get back at it, see if we can get this liner dropped in place after the water's out. Get the liner in place and start dropping in stone. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so we're going to try to get some stone in the liner in place, get water in it so that it will hold the liner down and so we don't have this situation happening again. And then we can get back out here on Wednesday and get back at it with stonework. So it's a little bit of a mess right now. We're doing our best. All right, so the protective underlayment is in, and this is what helps with a variety of things. It helps keep the anything sharp that might be under here, and we encountered a good bit of construction debris. Anything that's sharp down here keeps it from working its way up and puncturing the liner. Helps keep any sharp stones from above on top from pushing down and puncturing the liner, because of this does not stretch, and so as the liner might stretch around a stone, this keeps it from overextending itself. The third thing that it does is it acts as a membrane for the air that might work its way up through the soil. Allows it to escape. So if the liner was directly against the soil, it would in essence seal itself against that. But this membrane here, or not membrane, but this underlayment is it's breathable, and so it allows any gases that would be working their way up through the soil to escape and not cause an air bubble underneath the liner. So it serves a variety of functions. We've seen a lot of things used over the years, carpet being one that was used for a long time. Newspaper doesn't work for a whole lot of reasons, namely that it's a very short-term solution. So anyway, we got this in. Also dug a couple of little planting pockets, one right here and one over there, for some lilies to go in. It's important those are not in the direction of the channel flow, which will be going straight down the middle here, because we don't want those impeding the movement of water through the middle. So those plant pockets are there, and that'll just give a little extra space for the lilies to take hold. Now you can see it's a mess. This right here is all going to get a concrete drive poured on it, so we're not terribly worried about it, because the concrete guy will be coming in as soon as we finish. But now it's time to get the liner in. What's wrong? Is it heavy? When Alberto's struggling, you know it's heavy. is dug. We're rocking it in right now. Ben's over here working on the area where our waterfall is going to be. We have our first frame rock set right there. Thank you, Mario. We have our first frame rock set right there. I'm working on a spill stone, trying to find just the right spill stone. So I was talking with the client, and you know, some people don't care, some people give you the option, and so I asked her, you know, what kind of waterfall do you want? So we talked about that and figured out that she wants wide, kind of a blade waterfall. And so then we go in and we look at what stones are going to be needed in order to achieve that. So this right here is going to be the perfect rock. I'm going to show it to you. So this stone is lying down flat, but what we're going to do is we're actually going to flip it up on this end and set it behind that boulder where Ben's working over there creating a keyhole for it to fit. Problem is we've got this end down here, and this would just be the perfect stone to use, but this kind of complicates the stability of the stone. So I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna cut that stone out. It's gonna be a little bit extra work, but it'll be worth it, and the end result should be quite marvelous. So I cut through it all the way around, popped it once with the tractor, and she opened up. So here's to hoping that this is the perfect waterfall spill stone. Right here, Alberto is placing these larger stones first and then building up the shelf to get us up above the next terrace. So start with boulders on the bottom, pull them away from that ledge a bit, backfill behind them with cobblestones like these right here, fill in all the major voids, then come back and fill in those smaller voids with this gravel. And then that provides a good stable surface that we can build on top of with these stones. So we're not just stacking rocks straight on top of each other. You can see that we're stair-stepping our way back, and that makes it much more stable, much more sturdy, and you don't have to worry about stuff falling over when you're in here cleaning or messing around, putting around in your pond. So often we see stones that are just stacked straight on top of each other, especially thin, flat stones, stacked one on top of another. These rocks here are not going anywhere at all. They are locked into place. Once you get that gravel poured inside there, they're not gonna budge. And then we're gonna come up top here, place some big ones. This edge here is facing away from the house, so we can get away with doing some of these smaller stones along here, placing some big ones along in the top, and then we'll fill in between them with stones like this. On this face here, however, facing towards the house, we're gonna set some big boulders in and around, and then come back in and fill in the gaps just like we have right here. And we'll do that same thing around this top edge as we work around towards our intake bay back there. Alberto's digging a intake bay in straight mud. Look at those boots. Alright, so Alberto is working on our intake bay right here. So we're going to have 4 of these aqua blocks down in this hole, and we're going to have 2 of these pump vaults sitting back here behind them, and we'll have stones across this, line the inside of that with the underlayment and liner, and then underlayment again. And the underlayment, that second layer of underlayment, will help to keep water from just washing through the bottom. We want to force water to come across the top, over the stones, and into this area right here, which will collect all the leaves and floating debris, and it'll make it much easier to clean out than a mechanical skimmer, because it makes it much easier to clean out an intake bay than a mechanical skimmer, just because it gives you a lot more margin and room for error in there. And so yeah, our pumps will sit down inside these pump vaults, and be easy access to those. And let's see, we've got, oh yeah, and other developments. We have our 2 frame rocks and our spill stone are in right there. Water level is going to be about right here. So we're going to have water coming over that, about 13,000 gallons per hour coming over that. So it's going to be a considerable amount of water right there. It's going to be very nice. So right now what we're doing is this rock wants to roll backwards. So we've got a block up underneath it and behind it to keep it right there where the tractor is holding it right now. And then once that's finished, then we'll set some more boulders along here and down in here and coming on around here where Alberto is working. And once this is finished inside here, then we can start working our way up in the stream and the wetland filter.